This video is going to be answering the question around how we get the students to be paying attention and listening in school settings to follow directions. I have Christy with me here today again to help us, which is great. And this is to deal with one of the three problems I talked about in the last video. And that is that the student is kind of unaware of instructions being delivered. Okay? And I'm going to show you some ways that we can work on that with the student. So that means the student is pretty comprehension-wise, understands the instructions, and also is quite willing to follow them, just unaware that they're being delivered. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up with a hierarchy. Okay? And what a hierarchy means, it's we're going to schedule some items from least to most. Okay? And in this example, we're going to talk about when the student is most likely to be aware and listen, and ranging to a situation where most unlikely to listen and most likely to be unaware of the instructions. Okay? Now I've come up with this hierarchy that you can see right now, and on the top of the hierarchy we've got the easiest is when Christy is sitting right in front of me and she's got nothing to do whatsoever. This is when she's most likely for me to provide her an instruction she's going to follow it. Most awareness. Second on the hierarchy is when, same situation, Christy's got nothing to do, but I'm not going to be sitting right in front of her. I'm going to be walking around the room and delivering instruction. She may not be paying attention to me at that time. That's a little bit more difficult. A bit more difficult than that will be that we have some neutral activity for her to do. So it's not a favorite thing by any means, but it's something for her to do. This means she's going to be more distracted by what she's carrying out, probably less likely to be hearing what I say. I'm going to start again by being right in front of her, and then the next phase will be me being around the room, which is a bit more difficult. Next phase in our hierarchy would be that I'm going to give her something more preferred. Now this is going to be her toy. She loves books. So I'm going to give her some books to read. She again is going to be less likely to listen to me and be aware I'm delivering instructions because she's going to be very distracted by the book. My next level is going to be giving her something very highly preferred, which is playing on the iPad, which she loves. This is going to be when she's going to be probably the least likely to be aware of me delivering her instructions. Okay, and we're going to work our way through that hierarchy systematically. And as she shows progress and practice with that, we move up the hierarchy. So this is something that you would do at home. And this is something you would practice frequently with your child around following instructions, around daily activities. I've selected some activities that are kind of schoolish because our purpose is to get the student to follow instructions at school. But you could also do instructions that relate to home as well, if you like. So I'm going to start with phase one of my hierarchy, which is, if you remember, Christy not doing much, sitting in front of me. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give her an instruction to do. If she follows my instruction, I'm going to provide her some reinforcement. The reinforcement for Christy in this example is just social praise. I'm just going to use, encourage her. She doesn't need a lot of external reinforcement at this point. If your child doesn't listen and is not easy to do this task with, you may have to look at your reinforcement. You might need to use a token economy or consider some other kind of external system. I already talked about reinforcement token economies like a lot in a lot of the previous videos. So if you're unsure how to do that, you can maybe go back and look at how you might use something like that. But for the purposes today, I'm just going to be using social reinforcement, which Christy likes very much. So I start, Christy's with me, she's got nothing to do, I've got some instructions I can give her to do, and I just give an instruction. I don't wait for her to attend to me or anything like that. I don't cue her to pay attention, which is very important. We don't want to be cueing the student by, oh, Christy, look at me, hey, over here, get ready, this kind of thing, because that's not going to happen in a school setting. The teacher isn't going to go over to your child and say, hey, get ready, hey, pay attention before we give the instruction. They're just going to give the instruction. Okay, so I'm going to start with that. Christy, can you give me the glue? Wow, great job. Thanks for following that instruction. That was fabulous. Such a good listener. Okay, it's phase 1. I'm going to try a couple of other instructions to make sure she's good, but she seemed pretty aware of my instruction. Oh, and the scissors. Could I have the scissors? Wow, fabulous. Good listening. That's good. I was just going to use these to cut this paper later on. And can I have the pencil? Wow, super job. You're doing such great work there. Okay, so phase 1 looks pretty solid. I'm going to move up to phase 2, and I'm going to make it a bit more difficult. Okay? So that means I'm going to move around. She's still got nothing to do. Okay, you just wait here. I'm going to be a bit busy, okay? I'll get some books for later today. Christy, can you give me the glue? Thanks. Wow, you were listening. That was great. Have a seat. Very helpful. I'll put that up here. Oh, Christy, can you stand up? Oh, thank you. Come here a second. Great listening. Can you put the book on the table for me? Wow, super listening. You can sit down now. Thank you. Now, what do we need over here? Oh, we need these tissues. Christy, can you put that on the table for me? Super job. Okay, have a seat. Wow, that was amazing. You did really well. You were listening even though I was all around the room, right? You kept tuning in, listening carefully to my instructions. That was awesome. Okay, phase 2. A little bit more difficult, but she's still doing really well. So let's make it a little bit more difficult now. I'm going to give her another activity now, which is a bit more neutral. And that's drawing. She kind of is okay to do some drawing. She doesn't love it. It's like something she'll do. It's not super preferred, but I'm going to give us to do some drawing, and I'm going to give us some instruction, right? A bit more difficult than doing nothing, okay? Hey, Chrissy, you want to do some drawing? Okay, remember, when we're working, remember to listen, okay? Chrissy, can you give me the tissue? Oh, thanks, with my nose. Oh, thanks. Great listening. I know you're busy. Oh, Christy, can you give me the scissors? Oh, hold on. Now, just see what happened? She didn't listen to me. She was too busy doing her thing. So now we have to talk about what do you do when the student doesn't listen to what you're doing, okay? Now, what we want to try not to do is to provide a lot of prompts or help that cues her to pay attention to me, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to use, I'm going to make mine, rather than provide feedback and say, hey, you didn't listen, I'm going to make my instruction more obvious, okay? So I'm going to allow her to continue with the worksheet, and I'm going to be a bit louder and be a bit more directive, okay? But be careful, don't use feedback, because what will happen is that the student may become dependent on feedback, i.e. that they're doing something, the student says, hey, you're not listening, and then they pay attention, and then they follow the instruction. But that's not a good cycle of events, because it means the student becomes very dependent on the teacher to provide the feedback. Alright, so I'm just going to increase the obviousness so that it's going to be more easy for her to be aware that I'm giving her instruction. Okay? So let's start at the beginning of that. I'm going to ask her again, and she's not going to do it, and I'll show you why I do. Okay? Christy, can you give me the scissors? Christy, can you give me the scissors? Oh, good. That was great listening to me. Thank you so much. You can carry on with your drawing. Okay, so I was a bit more direct. I made the instruction more obvious, so it's easier for her to be more aware. Okay, but be careful, because now I have to make sure that I'm going to have to reduce the level of that intrusiveness. Okay, so my next trial, I'm going to soften my voice and go back to where I was. Can I get the scissors, Christy? Thank you, very good, that's nice. Okay, another thing you can do in the correction procedure is you can go back to the previous step, okay? So the earlier one in the phase, for this was the phase of doing something, right? That makes it more difficult because she gets engaged. I can take it away and provide the same instruction, okay? So the correction procedure in this example might be, okay, let's do some drawing. She's going to get it. She's not going to listen again, okay? Can you give me the scissors? Hang on a second. Can you give me the scissors? Wow, that was great listening. Thanks very much. Doing a great job there. Thank you. Hey, why don't we do some drawing? And can you give me the glue? Wow, super listening. I know you're busy. Okay, so we can go down to a previous level, provide some reinforcement, move back up. Okay, all those procedures basically manipulate how obvious the instruction is and how easy it is for Christy to follow those directions. Okay. Once we're done with this, the next phase would be maybe to give her something more interesting, like this book. She loves the book, okay? Much more so. Okay, and again, I may practice with her at the table to begin with. Okay, Christy, can you give me the orange on that worksheet? Oh, she didn't listen very well, right? So I might go back a step. Hang on, can I just put that here? Here, you want to do some more drawing? A second. Can you get me the orange on the worksheet? Wow, thanks. Great listening. Super job. Hey, did you want to read this book? Here, have it. And can you get me the green on that worksheet? Wow, super job. You're doing so well. How about the red one? Can you give me the red one? Good. Great listening to me. I love that. That's really nice. I just got to go over here. Okay, she's doing good, so I'm going to up the level. Oh, how cute that is. Christy, can you stand up? Very good. Can you come here? Nice listening. Give me a high five. Wow, such a great listener. Have a seat. Okay, so I can up the level. She's doing well. Lots of practice. And then I might go for the final, which might be something really hard like an iPad. Okay, which might be really quite a challenge for a lot of children to listen when they're doing something like that. So you can see that these procedures basically provide lots and lots of practice, increase the difficulty level of the instructions being less and less intrusive, more things going on, more distractions. And this is something you could practice every day at home to get your child much, much better at following these kind of instructions. Now for school, we basically would do the same thing. In a school, perhaps if the students probably would need a TA or some kind of school shadow, probably to provide the intensity and the direction for this kind of program. We probably list out a number of situations and different kinds of school situations and instructions that the student would be required to listen to, and we're going to practice. And we practice with the TA sitting or the teacher sitting right in front of the student, leading to being further away in the classroom, being more kind of, distracting kind of settings, gradually working our way up, providing a lot of reinforcement for the student to follow those kinds of tasks. And that's how you're going to solve the problem of getting those students to be much more aware. The other thing that we would do is, as well as teaching students to become more aware and follow more verbal instructions, we'd also probably train them to do other things like when a school bell rings, what do you do? Or other kind of environmental kinds of things that happen that you should follow. Like when you see all the kids stand up to go line up, you should do the same thing. So these are not necessarily instructions provided, but they're certainly changes in the environment that the children will need to be aware of, pay attention to, and give them cues as to what they should be doing during those times. Okay, in the next video we're going to talk about what do we do about a child who's got a language deficit, and how do we approach that. Hope you like the video. Thank you very much.